last song was Sippin' on a Friday by Stix Bones off his last release, Breaks from the Soul, Volume 2. He's got some new stuff he brought with him in the studio. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to have a conversation with Bob Beamon, who's a part of their performance this Thursday in Brantford. This is the Doc Hardy Show on WPKN 89.5 FM. Broadcasting from downtown Bridgeport, Connecticut. We are in studio number 1. Our signal reaches Fairfield, Litchfield, and New Haven counties here in Connecticut, Suffolk County on New York's Long Island, and we stream around the world at WPKN.org. You can also find the station in the Radio Garden app as well as tune in. So in the studio, this is the first time I've done this. I have guests in the studio and I have a guest via Zoom. So in the studio, I have Stix Bones along with my man Ed Tankus, who is a promoter extraordinaire. And on the line, we have Mr. Bob Beamon, Olympic record holder, one-time world record holder for the long jump, smashed the long jump by over 2 feet when he set that world record. Bob, can you hear us? All right. So let's get into it.
I sure can. I can hear you.
You can hear us? Awesome. Awesome. We can hear you too. All right.
I like that piece you playing.
Well, I learned a lot about you I didn't know in preparing for this interview, so I'm excited to meet you and have a conversation. Of course, Stix has been here before. He was here a few months ago. He's sort of a prophet. I call him Prophet Bones. Prophet Ezekiel Bones. That's his name. Now he was. If y'all might not remember, but Stix was in here. It was like October, September. Something like that.
Yeah. It was around October.
And at the end, he gave a heartfelt statement about kind of what a lot of musicians talk about. That the same people seem to get all of the festival spots. The same people seem to get invited to things. And he just appealed, just an appeal to those that have positions where they can influence those things. No, give other people a shot. There's a lot of good musicians out there. And turns out his prayers are answered. Tell the people where you're going to be playing this Thursday.
We're going to be playing at Brantford on the Green on Thursday, August 3rd at 6:30 p.m. Want to see you out there with your nice, comfortable chairs.
Awesome. So, first of all, how did you feel when you got that news?
Oh, when Ed called, he, like he does in his voice, like, hey, And, of course, I was leaping inside backwards because I've played festivals on a bandstand working for another artist. But this time to have my name on the bill was it was incredible. And like you said, man, just speak those things into existence.
Yes.
Right here on the Doc Hardy Show. So anything I need to get done, I think I need to come back to Doc Hardy Show and then speak on it.
You're the second guest I had in studio. Benny can testify to that said that because of appearing on this program, they met whatever goals they're trying to meet when they came here. So that's good for me. I'm happy to hear that because that's my goal, to facilitate the success of other people. And that's what we want to do.
Wonderful.
Now, you have Bob Beamon playing with you this week. Talk about how that connection came to be. How did you guys hook up and connect?
So, you know what? I'm gonna let Bob come in on that one.
Well, it sticks. First of all, Doc, it's a pleasure to be on your show, and I want to give praise to my man Stix, who probably many don't really know, the extensive professional life he's had, as a drummer or a musician, a creator. And one day he just came to me and just said, he feels that it's time to really take off. And I think that was beautiful. But how I met Stix was through my cousin, Al Brisbane, who is a wonderful bassist for for Stix. And over the years, probably since I was 9 years old, I was always interested in music, and specifically, I dealt in the areas of percussion. The drums were somewhat magnetic, somewhat hypnotist, it's a hypnotizing situation for me. And I've been hypnotized ever since I was 9. And it was just a wonderful experience to have this conversation with my cousin, who I said, it would be wonderful to get back into the music world and to enjoy the parts that I really enjoyed, was being involved in the drum section, the rhythm, and I'm just really so excited that Stix said, it seemed like his mind lit up like a Christmas tree. He said, wow, that could be a possibility. But, it's a long shot because, talking and actually doing is a different kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And so
that's right.
I can say that in the very beginning, Stix took me out there one day. We had a very interesting gathering, and he had my cousin, and he had all of his tight musicians at this place in New York. And he said, Bob, get on the congas. And I said, whoa, this has been 40 years. I have not put my hand hard, And like I said, talking and actually playing is two different things. But one of the interesting things about Stix was when he started out doing his show, everybody was fired up. Bam! The band was fired up, and he said, and so they said, okay, Bob, you're gonna do a 4. You're gonna do a 4 with me. I said, a 4? No, I can't do that. I said I can't. And you got me. But what was happening was, musicians are very interesting, just like athletes, man. It's easy to talk, but you got to come out and do your thing. And so. From that point on, I said, you know what? If I'm going to get back into the world of music, it's time to do it now. And I've got some good people that are supporting me to get back into it. And I worked with Stix. I worked back, and I was getting my stuff together. I was coming back because, I had a very, very interesting background in music. One of my favorite people that really got me started was Milford Graves, Dr. Milford Graves, who actually passed away. Mm-hmm. And he was my hero. He got me started. And then I went on and played with Chief Bay, all of these guys, and doing dance schools and stuff like this here. So I was back in the day, I was hitting it hard. And then all of a sudden, I get this feeling that I need to change my career to sports. And if you really want to do something very special, you can't be caught in between two worlds. Mm-hmm. So I had to give up one in order to move forward. And I think I did pretty good at
You did all right.
So, but to really go back and really think about it, I really love. That's my first love is music, and so when we started working out, Stix and I, he said, "I want you to do this." I said, "Oh my God, yeah!" But it started to come back. I started to. What was in my head started to come on my hands. And so I think you'll see on the 3rd a difference between long jumping and play percussion. So I'm very, very excited about being a part of the Bone Squad. So, and Stix is really, he's out there, man. He's a cat man that has so much in his head. He's got to continue to produce and to create, man, because I like it, man. I like it. It's funky. It's, we were just before the show started, man, they was playing Sipping on Friday. I was like, I could hear it, I could hear the whole thing just moving forward, man. So I'm very excited today to have this conversation with you, Doc, and with Stix on the side there. I hope I didn't take too much from you, Stix, because I'm excited.
Well, that's awesome. So now, the surprise for me, and I was okay. I knew about the Branford Jazz thing because that's what Ed told me. But then you guys come in the studio and you hand me a USB drive.
Yeah. And
you tell me that there's an album coming out, and the name of the album is going to be called Olympic Soul.
Yes.
Talk about that. Talk about that project.
I mean, Olympic Soul is going to bring you back. So the Soul series, as you know, has an influence where it bridges the gap between hip hop and jazz. The same way Dennis Coffey, Bob James record, the producers of hip hop was influenced to take a portion of that to recreate the music of their genre. And Olympic Soul, if you notice, the genres that really took place in 90s hip hop were samples from 70s music. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I think it's because a lot of their parents, played this music around the house and they grew up liking it. And when technology allowed them to take that special part, they did. But with that being a factor, Olympic Soul I wanted to
recording in progress,
kind of give them a part of that soul essence as well that we're doing with the Breakbeat series. But then the Olympic part of it is beyond not just Bob being an Olympian. Olympics is for champions. You know what I'm saying? And to me, soul music is the champion genre that really birthed so much music. So I wanted to play on that where it was like Olympic soul champion music, and we indulged in our flavors and our spins, and you're going to have some things that's going to take you back to the 70s feel, and then you're going to have some new stuff that's just going to keep you like your head grooving.
That's amazing. So I like the tie-in between the Olympic and the soul because that's obviously, you have the longest running Olympic record holder.
Yes.
As part of the Bone Squad. That's crazy. That's crazy.
You're still tripping on that.
Could you have, but no, I'm tripping on it. I'm not even in the Bone Squad. Could you have imagined this a year ago?
No way. Didn't even see it coming. The people that I thought would have jumped on board with me was it's like, hey guys, I'm here, I arrived. And they left me standing at the bus stop, man. And then God's angels just said, I have a ram in the bush for you. And here we are with none other than someone of this stature, in legacy in American history. Never would have thought about it. And far-fetched, because as musicians, you try to connect with other musicians and other people. When I went to the Grammys, I was connected with people who have Grammy Awards. So I'm like, if I can connect with you, if I could connect with you. And here you have someone with an award that's not even in the music genre. It's just amazing.
Incredible. I tell you what, let's take a break from talking and listen to some music.
Let's do it.
So let's listen to the first. You gave me two songs, so listen to one now, and I'll play one after we're done with the interview. Yeah. How about that? So this first one is the title track, Olympic Soul.
Yes.
Since we have our Olympian here. Let's do it. Right?
Let's do it.
Anything else you want to say about it before I play it?
I think this is the first time Bob is hearing this mix.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a not yet released album. This is unreleased music. fact, they told me I got to give the
Yes, you
the
gotta give it
USB back. I can't secretly copy it. Like I can't. I'm not allowed to have it. So that's This is a Doc Hardy show. That's what we do here. We like unreleased music. You all know I play a lot of it. I appreciate you all coming in here. This song is called Olympic Soul by Stix Bones with Bob Beamon.
Yes, sir.
Part of the percussion and drum section. Here we go. All right, let it finish. I don't like talking over people's music, especially when it's new. I guess Bob, you couldn't hear that, huh? You couldn't hear that song?
I couldn't hear it.
Oh, I don't know why. We'll have to. Well, I don't know. I didn't do anything different than I've been doing. Well, I'll tell you, it was good. You sounded great. I can hear. Now you played the congas in that one.
Yeah.
Okay,
so he's on.
So I obviously heard your drums. I heard the congas. It sounded great. This is amazing. Olympic Soul was the name of that track off the upcoming album, Olympic Soul. When can we expect that?
Later this fall.
Okay.
We're still in the process of getting a couple of more songs mixed and mastered. But we're working really diligently to make that fourth quarter.
Awesome.
You know what I'm saying? So just before your Christmas holiday music, y'all will be leaping.
Awesome. I like the pun, leaping. And tie back in. I gotta ask one long jump question though. I have to. What are the chances of me having this conversation with one of the athletic greats of our history? Bob, how did you feel when you broke the record? Like the moment. Take us back to that moment. Were you trying to break it? Did you think you were going to break it? How did you feel?
One of the things that they asked me many times in interviews of how did you plan for this record to be broken like this? And actually, I tell the young generation, I tell them that this is something that I love to do. First of all, I loved it. I didn't go into it expect to be the superstar or to break a world record. First of all, I enjoyed long jumping, and I enjoyed the progress that I was making as I got older and stronger. And one of the other things that I say to them is that I've gotten so many kicks in the butts and beaten so many times that when I didn't win, I knew that I was on my way to something very special. I enjoyed it. I even kicked in more. I put in more time. And I do that also here when I'm working with Stix, or I'm working with my good partner, good man, Bobby Thomas Jr., who also is a percussionist who played with Weather Report and all that kind of stuff. So I put in time. I know what it takes. You got to first of all enjoy it. I know that you can see light. You want to see light at the end of the tunnel, but it'll get there at some point. As we can see, Stix is now starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel. That's because he's put in his time. He's put in all the efforts, and now he's putting in the creativity and it's more than just being the best drummer in the world or the best percussionist. It's about getting into the world of business. There's more than what really meets the eye of being a good musician. Yep. So I want, if I can ever give any information to the young generation who is inspiring to be a Stix Bones, it ain't easy. And who told you life was going to be easy? You got to dig in. When you're knocked down, you got to get up and get back on the drum set and hit it hard. So I'm just saying that this is enjoyable to go through these wonderful changes. Doc, I can also say in your business, man, you know how it is. It ain't what people see like right now, you've been on it for a long time, and you got the creativity, and you know what it takes, man. And I know you've been giving that information to them young kids, because some kids think that it's so easy to get into the business, man. Yep. It can get into it, but do you know how to maintain it? Do you know how to understand what you're into? And so that's what I enjoy about Stix. Stix is kind of like a quiet giant, you know. Mm-hmm. He doesn't necessarily have to speak out loud. He does it. You see it in what he's doing. And so, like I'm saying, thank you, Stix, for letting me be a part of this wonderful new album that's coming out, man.
That's been amazing. And I appreciate those words of inspiration. I was going to ask you a question that you just answered organically. I always like my guests to share something inspirational to listeners, and you just did that. And it's kind of ironic that on the day I have you on my program, really a man who's been instrumental in me being in this radio business for 7 years is sitting right across from me, Ed Tankus. And I was just brand new on the scene when he reached out to me and gave me my first opportunity to interview a charting jazz artist. I've been interviewing local musicians, primarily local here in Connecticut. He gave me an opportunity to help him promote an event, help MC a portion of the event. These are all things I didn't expect. And really, once I got a taste of that, I'm like, okay, I got to keep working so I can keep getting there, like you say. And you're right. When young people come to me, the first thing I ask them is, why do you want to do it? Because if you don't know why, you're not going to get up at 5 o'clock on a Sunday morning to come into the studio if you don't know why you're doing it. Wow. Yeah. You're not going to do it. And not every Sunday, you're not going to do it, right?
That's true. Yeah.
So I appreciate that, Bob. Now, Stix, last question for you. What can the people expect Thursday night? What you gonna give them? What you gonna do?
That's look, Connecticut, I love y'all, but if you want to see, you gotta come, because you know what it is. It's more than just music. It's gonna be a performance. It's gonna be a lot of fun. You know, leave your problems at home. Bring the family out. It's that Thursday after work. You know, that Thursday afternoon. Come on out. You won't be disappointed. 6:30. We're hitting the stage. And what I will tell you, we're going to be grooving and we're going to be jamming. You know what I'm saying? We're definitely going to be grooving and jamming.
Ed, you want to say something?
Yeah.
I think that's you.
Yeah.
Is he 4? Is he 4 or is he?
4.
He's 4. All right, hold on a second. Sorry about that.
No problem. Live radio, right?
There you go. Yep.
been here, done that. No, I just want to follow up with Stix. Branford Jazz is really a community event. There's people of all kinds, of all walks of life. It's a free show. People gather there. They bring their coolers. They bring their blankets. They bring their chairs. They bring their cold or hot beverages. There's ice cream. There's stores there to visit and check out. It's a real, again, community event with great jazz. Not only from Stix, but from other
it's a series, right?
It's definitely a series. It's every Thursday night, weather permitting, of course, from 6:30 to 8:30. They do adjust the times as it gets darker, because it gets really dark on the green later in the year. So it may start at 6 o'clock. But it's a fantastic opportunity to come see some great jazz, hang out with friends, and just enjoy summer.
I'm looking forward to it. Last time I was there, I think about 5 years ago, Althea Renee was the artist, and my man Ace Livingston, shout out to Ace Livingston, played bass with her that night. So it's a great environment. That green is nestled right there in the downtown, and I was able to eat at one of the restaurants right off the green, you know, and it was a great, like you said, a great experience. So come on out. If you're in the area of New Haven, you should be there, and if you're not, you should be there anyway. You know, drive up, fight that traffic, get there, and enjoy the program. All right, so we're going to play one more off your upcoming release, Olympic Soul. This one sounds like it's got kind of a message to it. I would like both of you to speak on it. The song's called Price of Freedom.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's featuring, is it Obi Udon?
So, do you know the Last Poets?
No.
You don't know the Last Poets?
No.
So the last poet,
and I got a poet here. I got a spoken word artist.
Look, he looked at you like, what?
I don't know.
He's about to hit you with the.
No, I don't.
You don't know the last poets.
No.
He's gonna get you on this one. He's gonna meme you on this one.
I know.
All right. So last Abi O'Doon is one of Bob's good friends. Abi O'Doon is also one of the most influential, famous poets to ever walk the planet. And along with the group Last Poets, that household name, those brothers, like, was there, revolutionary, waking people up back in the day. When I came on the scene, my career started playing with poets. And the poets I was with would go to Abi O'Doon's house to be mentored and taught by him. So I would go to these sessions, and I ain't know what, because everybody's like, yo, you got to be black. You got to be right. You got to be righteous. And I was sitting there with my drumsticks like, okay. The revolution is televised right now. And they was like getting it in. And, but it was powerful knowledge, knowledge of self. It was powerful knowledge. I mean, when they wake you, they didn't just wake you like, come on, get up. They were like, you better get up. Like, they would shake you to wake you up. So, Abi O'Doon, I had lost connection with him because my career had moved off from the poets. But him and Bob are best friends. So Bob can tell you like how they got together, but for me, it was a reconnection. And when I made the call to have him on the record, he was like honored because one, it was with Bob, and two, he was like, yo, you one of the youngins that I was speaking to back in the day that, how far back was this with you? We're on 90s, like 96, right. 97, that's when we were all thriving hip-hop.
Yeah, I had a different life in 96. That's why I don't know who he is.
Yeah, but he's from the 70s. I didn't even...
You don't understand. What are you talking?
He's still one of you're going to have to buy him breakfast. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, Bob, talk to us about your relationship with
Abi O'Doon.
Abi O'Doon.
Well, you guys are talking about the 90s, and Abi O'Doon and I grew up in this area called South Jamaica, Queens. And we also went to church together. We also played basketball together. We went to middle school together. And after middle school, we went our different ways. At least I know that I left the 40 projects to go into an alternative school. So I missed out on all the middle school graduation and all that. So I know that he enjoyed his final days at 40 Samuel Huntington Middle School. So we have a good love for each other. And then one day we ran into each other and we hugged each other, man, because we come from the nucleus. We come from the middle of it where it all started. And I had no idea at that point that Abi O'Doon had been part of the Last Poets. And Last Poets is revolutionary. It changed the minds of African Americans. As a matter of fact, it changed the minds of Black people around the world in terms of how we look at ourselves and what we need to do to change ourselves, to make ourselves better in what we do. And so one day, me and Stix was talking, and I said to him about I went to school with Abi O'Doon, and he said, "Whoa!" And this struck a nerve and so this is why I say, creativity, is so important. You got to have your ears so wide open to anything, even to the sound of a glass being broken on the floor. You got to be clear, and your mind has to be clear. And so he said, man, let's try to get a hold of Abi O'Doon. So apparently Stix had something in his mind. And so as we move forward, as you can see on this here, Abi O'Doon said, "I'll do this thing for you." And and so one of the most important things that Avi Abdul left me with when we communicated and had some time together, he said, "You better get your hands together, boy. You better be right on them drums, boy." So,
yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
So coming from the other world is the world of music and arts. It's just really, really nice to know. And whatever needs to be done to get the thing right.
Yeah.
Stay on track. And I always tell people, stay in your lane, man. You know where you're going.
Right.
You ain't got to go in and out of there, because when you start going in and out, there's a possibility that you can cause an accident.
Mm-hmm.
You get thrown to the side for something, or you may not even make it. Stay in your lane. You know where you're going. Keep the creativity going. And I like, again, what Stix had done in creating this opportunity for all three of us, along with my friend that I knew since the 50s. And so I'm telling you, he has put together an incredible album, and to have Avi Abdul on the album.
Yeah, the reconnection between them two is just by far, again, beyond my wildest dreams, to work with these gentlemen together. And just to talk a little bit about the track, the title is Price of Freedom. So that is a question, as y'all listen, I want y'all to really ask yourself, because a lot of people think freedom is like, oh man, I'm free to do this and I'm free to do that. But they don't know there's still a cost. And that cost could be anything, that you may not be able to afford. What is the cost? And let's take it to our college kids. Connecticut is known for its universities. Mm-hmm. The kids, when y'all leave y'all parents' home, you like, I'm free to stay up as late as I want. I'm free to do this. Yeah, but when you're in school, there's a price for that freedom, because if you don't make it to class, if you fail the class, guess what? You know what I'm saying? You get flunked out of school and you still got to pay for it, because they're not going to let you not pay for it. So just to give you a little thing that there is a price to be free.
Yes.
You're still responsible. So that was just setting it up.
No, that's great. So I'm going to play this track. Listen, I appreciate you all being on the show this morning. Again, remind everybody about the event Thursday. Ed, you want to do that?
Sure. This coming Thursday, August 3rd at 6:30, Stix Bones in the Bone Squad with special guest Bob Beamon will be appearing at the Branford Jazz on the Green series in downtown Branford. Set your GPS to 1019 Main Street, Branford, Connecticut. Again, it's a community event. It's a free show, and parking around the green and the area is free also. So bring your coolers, bring your blankets, bring your chairs, bring your smile. We want to see lots of smiles out there. And because Stix is going to be putting them on you if you don't bring it with you.
All right. First, remember where you heard this first on the Doc Hardy Show. It's called The Price of Freedom. Here we go. That's a hit. That's a hit. I mean, listen. All right. So first of all, now, because this is a discussion we need to have another day. I mean, we kind of touched on it last time we were here, but this whole issue of genres, like you're kind of in a category I would call a genre bender, a genre blurring type person, where it is jazz, but jazz could be a lot of things, which I think people don't understand. There's 40 subgenres, major subgenres of jazz, and then of that 40, you can split that 40 into many, many more. I mean, and people argue and debate what is jazz, what's not jazz. I don't have those discussions anymore. I used to, because it's pointless. It's if there's improvisation involved, to me, it's jazz. But this, how would you categorize what you just created? Because this is amazing.
It's one of those things where there's spoken word. And a lot of spoken word artists use the jazz influence as they're speaking. So this kind of touches on two different genres at the same time. Thank you. The jazz aspect of it is because there's no improvisation, his vocals is the improvisation.
Right. Okay.
That's the point I want y'all to meet
Okay.
at the end. He's really coming flowing off the top of his head.
Yeah.
And then in spoken word or in hip hop, that's called freestyle. You know what I'm saying? But still delivering something dope. So he was actually the one improvising instead of the instrument.
So basically, Against the Soul, you took a soul bass, because that's the song is a soul, I would call it a soul song.
Yes.
And you fused it with a spoken word artist who's doing it in kind of a jazz tempo, a jazz flow. You fuse that together. So it's a fusion. I would call, to me, that's soul jazz. I would say that's a soul jazz song, and that's beautiful. That's what Stevie Wonder was doing in 1961.
Wow.
With,
Thank you, brother. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And he's like, to me, like the original of that genre. So amazing. I want the rest. So you got to come back. You got to come back when the album is released,
Okay.
and we play. I every so often I do a listening party, and I think if the rest of the album sounds like that, I'm gonna have you come back. We're gonna play the whole thing. We're gonna talk about every song and do the whole thing and have a on-air listening party.
Wow.
Okay.
Thank you.
I don't do that for everybody.
Yes.
So understand.
Wow. Thank
understand.
you. Yeah.
Right?
I take it.
Yeah. You move me, and of course I'm educated now. I'll be digging more into my brother and to the Last Poets and educating myself on that. So that's
thank you for that, because we're supposed to be educated.
That's right.
The reason why you have me in the show is to educate the people and bring awareness to certain things.
Right.
So thank you for what you do. And whenever my brother said, the day you stop learning is the day you died. You know what I'm saying? The day you stop learning is the day you've died. So to you to learn something new, even on your show, just means to show that you're still breathing well and you ingesting great music. So thank you, man.
Hey, thank you. Mr. Beamon, any final words for our listeners you want to share? Been a pleasure having you. I'm honored. Thank you so much for talking with us this morning.
Well, thank you, Doc. And I think you have a lot of followers probably are very interested. They love the music, and some probably want to get deeper into that side of how to play it and how do we go about doing it. Now, I'm just saying that for me, there's many sides of music. And so I've got a lot of history behind me. And I've collected music from all over the world. And I've got thousands of vinyls and things like this here to go back and say, hey, man, we need to bring that idea to a new idea. I mean, so there's so many ways of getting into creation of music. As we listened to Avio Dune, they talked about the price of freedom. It is, it's the freedom of the mind, the freedom to let go on them drums, like Stix says, man. Improvisation is a part of freedom in music. It's freedom to think of new things, freedom to be free. You've got to be free, and you've got to love to be free. Some people are free, but they don't even know that they can be freer if they just let go and just go on and do what they got to do to get to that place down at the end of the tunnel. I see the light down at the end of the tunnel. There it goes. And so me and Stix and the Bone Squad, we see light at the end of the tunnel.
Hey, and we're going to be at the end of the tunnel with you Thursday evening. Branford Jazz on the Green starts at 6:30. 6:30. And get there early, get a spot. I look forward to meeting you Thursday. I'm going to be hanging around the stage, so I want to meet and take a picture with history, a piece of our American history, and enjoy this conversation, guys. Thanks for coming in, and we'll see you guys on Thursday night. I'm Doc. You're listening to the Doc Hardy Show. I got about 10 minutes left, and I got to follow up Stix Bones. The only way to come behind that is to come with one of the greatest bands of all time, Earth, Wind, and Fire. How about that? The Doc Hardy Show. Let's go.